Hi everyone, so today I wanted to talk about love in the big city. I just finished watching the drama and I had no one to talk about it with, so that's why I am filming this video today. So there will be spoilers just to preface. So I think Love in the City, it's originally a novel written by Park Sang-young, and it is a really important piece of work, I think, for Korean society. It explores the everyday life of a gay man living in Korea, the pain, the social stigma, and also the love that he experiences in his 20s. And I think there hasn't been a work that so realistically explores a gay man's life living with HIV and AIDS in Korea. So I think it shows kind of like the social progress that's been made. And I'm really proud that work like this has come out of South Korea. And I've read both the novel and watched the drama. And I think the drama is a really faithful adaptation of the novel. So both the novel and the drama is split up into 4 chapters, and each chapter kind of explores a different relationship and a different part of Ko Young's life. So the first chapter is titled Mie in the drama and Jae-hee in the book. And this is an exploration of friendship and love. So we're introduced to Mie, and she is kind of shown as a really free-spirited, sexually liberated person. And because of who she is an outcast in Korean society. And I think that's why her and Ko Young are shown to really relate to each other and become so close. Because like Mie, Ko Young is also an outcast, right? He's not able to truly be himself. He has to hide who he is. And as a result, Mie and Ko Young are able to relate to each other really well. We're also introduced to Namgyu. And Namgyu is Ko Young's first kind of important love interest. And Namgyu is kind of shown to be really stuffy and kind of old-fashioned, but he's also really sincere about his love. And ultimately, him and Ko Young aren't able to work out because Ko Young isn't ready to receive or give that kind of sincere love to a romantic partner. And it's kind of the same case with him and Mie, his best friend. So Mie, they get along really well, they end up moving in together, but ultimately Mie is able to fit into South Korean society. She's able to find a job, she's able to find a boyfriend, and she's able to eventually get married. So Ko Young, I think, there's like a sense of being left behind. While Mie is able to integrate herself to Korean society, Ko Young is not able to do so because he is a gay man living in such a conservative society. And I think this chapter also explores the time period. I think we can all kind of understand that friendships don't always last forever. I think friendships can serve us really well in a moment, but because of circumstances in life, where someone might get married, someone might move on, the friendship might not last forever. But what we can treasure is the memories that we have made with that friend. So I think this was a really great chapter in introducing the love that Ko Young had for his best friend, and also the first love that he had with Namgyu. So the next chapter is titled 우럭 한 점 우주의 맛, which can be translated as a taste of the universe. And I think this chapter tackles the societal challenges of being a gay man in Korea and the familial love the love that we have for our family. So we're introduced to Ko Young's mom, who is a devout Christian, and she is also dying of cancer. So we explore kind of that tumultuous relationship that he had with her growing up. And we're also introduced to Yoon Su, who is a man that Ko Young loves, but also struggles with because Yoon Su has a lot of internalized homophobia. So this chapter is a wonderful exploration of Ko Young's younger life. And it explores his attachment issues that he has that stems from his family. So Ko Young has been abandoned by his dad at a young age, so his mom had to raise him all alone. And during that time, she also finds out that Ko Young is gay, and she basically rejects that and sends Ko Young to conversion therapy. And because of this, Ko Young has a lot of trauma and a lot of resentment towards his mom for not accepting him and for not taking care of him as a child. But now that his mom has cancer, he has that responsibility of taking care of his mom. So there is a lot of resentment, but also negotiation that he has to do with himself. Like, how am I supposed to take care of someone who he has a lot of resentment towards? But I think at the end, they kind of come to terms with their differences. I think his mom ultimately accepts him for who he is, and he's able to accept her as well. So I think in the drama, there's like this beautiful moment where his mom is kind of resting her head on his lap, and they're able to see each other for who they are and accept each other. So I thought this was a really relatable and beautiful chapter. There's also Yoon Su, who I mentioned before, as a man who is going through internalized homophobia. And Yoon Su, because of that, he doesn't want to be seen with Ko Young. He only wants to have dates in their apartment, away from society. And so ultimately, him and Ko Young their relationship isn't able to be, it doesn't work out because Yoon Su wasn't ready to accept Ko Young's love, as he has to deal with his internalized homophobia first. So I think this chapter really was a great exploration of the societal challenges and also the love that we have for our families. And the next chapter is titled 대도시의 사랑법, which is what the name of the drama is called, Love in the Big City. So this is a chapter where we're introduced to Ko Young's true love, Kyu-ho, and we're also introduced to Kylie, which is what Ko Young names his HIV. He got HIV from his ex-boyfriend, and he hasn't been able to tell anyone, his friends, his family, anyone, due to the social stigma that's been associated with it. However, we meet Kyu-ho, who is Ko Young's soulmate and someone that loves him unconditionally. And Kyu-ho is the one person that Ko Young is able to tell him that he has AIDS, because he trusts him, and he has that level of unconditional love towards him. And among the three love interests or actually the four love interests that are introduced in the drama, Kyu-ho is the most comfortable person that he can be around with. I think he kind of feels like he's dating a close friend, and he is the only love interest in which he uses informal speech with. So in Korean society, there is formal and informal speech, and formal speech is what you use with people who are older than you and just strangers, basically. But informal speech is a lot more what you use with your friends, your close family, and there's like this level of love that an attachment that you can't get with formal speech. And Kyu-ho is really the only person, the only love interest in the drama that he's able to do that with. So I thought that was really, really special. And through Kyu-ho and Ko-young's relationship, we see kind of the different stages. So we see the honeymoon stage where they're really lovey-dovey and affectionate towards one another. And we also see the more monotonous stages that come after that. Ko-young has a job and Kyu-ho is also working. So they are faced with the struggles of being an everyday working salaryman. And they start to fight a lot more because of the struggles that they experience from their everyday life. Ko-young also has a lot of guilt associated with having Kylie. They're not able to have an active sex life because of Kylie, and Kyu-ho isn't able to get hard without a condom. So they go several months without being able to have sex. And because of this, and because of the fighting that they have, the funk that they're in, they decide to go to Thailand. And I really liked how the drama showed this time in Thailand. It was just so, they just seemed so relaxed, and they kind of renewed their love for each other. So during this trip, Ko-young asks Kyu-ho why he wanted to be with Young despite him having HIV. And Kyu-ho tells him, 그러거나 말거나 너였으니까, which means regardless of you having Kylie or not, I am with you because it's you. And I thought that was just it showed the unconditional level of love that Kyu-ho has for Ko-young. And one kind of difference that I noticed from the novel and the drama in this chapter, in the novel, they try to go to Japan together as well. But because Ko-young forgets his passport, he's not able to go. And Ko-young tells Kyu-ho, you should go alone and cheat on me. And I think this kind of really exemplifies the attachment issues that Ko-young has had throughout his life. He feels really self-sufficient, and he's afraid that Kyu-ho will leave him at any time. So he really tries to push Kyu-ho away. And ultimately, that is what happens in this chapter of the drama. In this chapter, Kyu-ho is offered an opportunity to go to China, and initially they decide to go to China together. But Ko-young finds out that he has to get tested and submit health documents before he's able to go to China. And ultimately, because of Kylie, he would not be able to stay in China. He decides to push Kyu-ho away to go to China alone, and they end up breaking up. And I thought what was especially sad about this chapter was that Ko-young says he was expecting too much. he says that he was asking too much from the universe. I think love is something so normal and so universal to everyone, and everyone deserves to have love. But the fact that Ko Young feels like he was asking for too much is a really sad reality of someone living with HIV in South Korea. Shown the final chapter is 늦은 우기의 바캉스, which means late rain season vacation. So we find out that Young has found out that Kyuho is coming back from China for a bit. And Ko Young has like a level of hope that he will see Kyuho again. And we see him swiping on a dating app, and he sees a person that has written Kylie as an artist that he really likes on his dating profile. So Ko Young kind of wishes that the person is Kyuho and has that expectation that it could be Kyuho. So they end up on a date, but ultimately it's not Kyuho, and it's Habibi, who is a Japanese man, a really rich Japanese businessman, and they end up going to Thailand together on vacation. And during this trip, Ko Young reminisces on his last vacation with Kyuho. And we see little montages and memories that Ko Young has had together with Kyuho. And we also see that this is the first time Ko Young and Kyuho had unprotected sex. Ko Young was able to get PrEP from a local pharmacist to protect Kyuho from transmission, and they're able to have a really passionate and really meaningful sex. And later they go to a club, and there's a scene where Ko Young asks Kyuho what's going to happen when they go back to Korea, and what if they start fighting again. And Kyuho tells him, we'll make up. And they keep repeating their responses to each other. And I thought this was a really it just reaffirms the love that Kyuho has for Ko Young. And at the end of this chapter, you can see that Ko Young has left Habibi and has gone back to Korea. And we see that he feels sad to have lost Kyuho, but I think he now has an understanding of how important love is for him, and I think he's hopeful that he'll find it again. And throughout this project, you're able to see the growth that Ko Young has gone through. From the beginning, where he's very new to love and isn't ready to receive it or give it, but at the end, he acknowledges his need for love. And ultimately, I think this was a really human story. I think this will always be a pivotal and very important piece in South Korea, because it explores and addresses the LGBTQ plus community in a very honest and human way. And I think the themes that are explored in this drama, the themes of friendship, family, trauma, and love, are really universal themes that we can all resonate with. And I think this is why this drama and material really spoke deeply to me. So I would really recommend everyone to watch this drama. I think everyone will find something that they can find relatable, relate with. And I think it was an important piece that explores the reality of being an LGBTQ plus individual in Korea. And I'm glad that this project gave a voice to those individuals living in Korea. So I totally recommend it. Please read the book. Please watch the drama on Viki. And I know there's a movie version as well. So please watch that as well when that comes out. So yeah, thanks so much for watching my review of Love in the Big City. And I hope, please feel free to leave comments talking about what you thought about the book or the movie or the drama. And yeah, please join me in further reviews. Thank you so much for watching.